Many people say that, the human messiness gets in the way of performance, but we find that the human messiness is actually the pathway to performance. I'm like, it's so true. The more and more I reflect on the way that she would say that, I said, that's true. That's really true. I didn't want to come across as too soft, right? But when you actually look at hard performance, it's true. And so what one of the misnomers I think that, and perhaps actually the massive disruption of AI will teach us is that humans are profoundly subjective. We have mostly related to humans as objective, as things, not that different than objects and things, but we're profoundly subjective. And we've often pushed down the subjective aspects, meaning our interpretations of something, our moods, our emotions, and everything has been relegated to the soft side of things, right? The problem is it is those subjective moods and interpretations that give us our behavior. So, why is it that motivational speakers work some of the time, but not all the time? Some circumstance, not all circumstance. Why is it that incentives work some of the time, but not all the time? With some people, not all people. In some circumstances, not all. How come training goes that way? How come vision goes that way? How come all of the 500 variables that have been studied in the social sciences sometimes work some of the time with some people in some circumstances, but not all the time? Why? Because when they work, it's that they have shifted the context, or they have aligned a new interpretation, or they have garnered the right motivation because they have impacted my subjective reality in such a way that my behaviors are a natural consequence of that. That's why they've worked. And leaders, we have not been taught that. And that's what mobilization is all about, is to impact the lived experience, the world, my own subjective reality in such a way that my actions are a natural consequence of it. I don't have to remember to take actions because you told me to, or you're incentivizing me that way, is because as a leader, you have taken the time to ensure that my understanding, my interpretations are lined up in that direction, but you haven't done it once. Because as subjective beings, every day we are bombarded with conversations and new narratives